That's it. It's live. Okay, we're back. I'll move it back a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll learn. Okay, folks, sorry about some technical issues there, but we are back. Streaming again the first tennis match of the season here at Mifflin County High School. When we last left you, Lady Huskies were looking for winning their first game as Altoona's kind of having their way here early, and it looks like, I believe we do have a couple of wins here now for the girls. Let's go down to court number 4 in our doubles action. Again, if you're just rejoining us, this is the number 1 doubles team for the Huskies. Ryan, one more time, our two Mifflin County girls.
Lily Ryden and Asia Binder.
No, actually, that's the second doubles team, I think.
Isabel Wagner and Sky Curry.
There we go. There we go. And the shot is wide, and serve will go back to the Lady Huskies. So that is court number 4, where the doubles action is going on. Shuttle back down here to court number 2 for a quick peek in at Sydney Kyle. Kyle with another drop shot. Sydney really likes that lob. And it's effective there for her again. We were talking about the courts being refurbished a little while ago, and Athletic Director Tish McClay's come down this way to check things out. And again, as I mentioned, boy, just a major improvement to the courts here. And again, not only just for the players, but for the community. These courts are used heavily by people throughout the county. Again, Sydney with another little drop shot. That one doesn't quite get over the net. And the point goes to Altoona. See if we can go down. I know I cannot get a score for you, but again, these 4 courts in front of us count, and also court number 5, which is the second doubles match, and we're going to zoom in there for you as close as we can get down there. Can't really get you a score. Our 2 Huskies are on the far side, and that is the doubles team. There's a pretty good look at both of them as they talk. Must be a break in the action there. That is Asia, I know, with her back to us. And you said Lily Ryden was the other one?
Yep.
Okay, so Lily and Asia, good look at them right there. Again, we do not have a score on that one. We'll see if we can get you an update, but there's a break in the action. They're having a discussion, and their opponents are actually talking with their coach at the other end of the court. So there's our look at Binder and Ryden down there on court number 5. Let's jump back up to doubles for a little bit. Probably have had our most volleys taking place here in this number 1 doubles match. Again, the coaches seed their players 1 through 3. The top 3 get singles matches. And then players 4 and 5 are the first doubles team, and 5 and 6 the second doubles team. And the Huskies serving. And the shot is wide. Probably couldn't hear that, but again, the shots are all called. It's on the honor system. And Altoona player calling that shot long for Mifflin County. We mentioned that the Lady Huskies will take on Hollidaysburg tomorrow. the updated score there in the first set in the doubles match did go to Altoona. As we take a look at our Mifflin County duo there in that doubles team. So they took the first set and they lead in the second set. Looks like 2-0. It is the best of 3, so Altoona's doubles team just 4 games away from winning 6-love there. Let's hope the MC girls can get themselves on the board here. Boys tennis, if you're wondering, is a spring sport here. That's why Glenn Kyle has been able to coach both teams. Girls in the fall, boys in the spring. Of course, everybody, Ryan, I think, is wondering what's going to happen here with football, and it's going to be a little different with everybody not heading to Mitchell Field Friday night.
That would be a real change.
Yeah.
Be watching at home.
Yeah, it's I mean, as of right now, I mean, we'll see if we can maybe talk with Tish a little bit later here. If she comes back up around, she's busy watching some of the action here. But as of right now, 250 is the limit. And for example, State College, who our Husky football team will scrimmage this coming Friday, they dress 100 players themselves. So you're almost halfway to the 250 limit with just the team from State College. And anyhow, just a tough decision the whole way around. But as of right now, it appears as though if we have anybody at all, it'll be very limited. But at this point, it looks like we will not be having fans at the football games. Still have 2 weeks to go, though, so we'll see what develops. Girls volleyball is a sport that for sure that will not happen. And we will bring you all of the home games for the Lady Huskies in volleyball this year. Indoor sports limited to just 25 people. Which even makes it tough, Ryan, to get the team in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
on each side.
You go with 25 people, you get a scorekeeper and a clock operator and the 2 officials, and then 2 girls have to be line judges. So you're down to like 18 or 19 people without the players even, and coaches getting on the court. So be just a few people in the gym there for those volleyball games, but we will bring them to you on MCTV. Yeah, this is a whole new ball game for us here today too, with streaming and trying to get the games out to you. We appreciate your patience as we work our way through some bugs here in our first telecast, but hopefully we'll get that all worked out. A lot of thanks go out to some people in the technology department who have been a big aid in helping us get everything ready for today's matches. And that game also looks like went the way of Altoona. Actually, no, it looks like the Lady Huskies maybe did get a victory there. We'll have to double check that. But it's 4-0. Well, we'll double check it. Not sure if I'm reading that score correctly or not. Let's go back out to court number 3. We haven't checked in on Jalen Yoder here for a while. She's on the far side. Trailing here 5-0 in the first set. And that may have been it. That may have been the final game of that set. As Yoder comes and meets her opponent at the net. So while they take a break between games, we'll have a chance to go all the way down here to court number 1 and see how things are going for the number 1 players here. Kaylee on the near side for the Huskies. And Kaylee will get the point there. Ryan mentioned that Olivia is a junior. Top 3 players, junior, senior, senior, right? I think that's what we have. So Olivia the junior, and then the 2 and 3 players are both seniors. But a lot of young players the rest of the way. Our second doubles team, just 2 sophomores down there. So, like I said, a pretty nice mix on the squad of players from all grade levels. And Kaylee shot into the net. Ryan, you want to be our official crowd counter here?
Yeah.
Give us an idea here. I think we're well under the limit here. Probably between fans and spectators, maybe 80 people.
Seems about right.
Something like that. Mentioned this is the opener for the tennis team. The golf team at Mifflin County was actually in their 3rd match, I believe, today. And so far the Husky golfers are 2-10 after their first 2 matches. They actually score and count 6 different games each match in the mid-pen. That's how it works. So they've gone 1-5 and 1-5 in their first 2 matchups. And back in action once again. Between tennis and golf, if you're in those sports, you're busy.
Yeah.
You are in and out of there. Kaylee serving. And that one just goes over the net for the point for Altoona. And again into the net for Olivia. So it looks as though everything is over on court number 2 and court number 3. And I believe they were straight sets wins for Altoona there. And we have some other players coming out. Some exhibition work's going to be done as a couple other Lady Huskies come out here on court number 3. Once the games at score are done, they do allow some exhibition work to take place. And as those 2 players get ready to get in some exhibition work, we'll check back on the doubles match down on court number 4. Good return there by Altoona to win the point. That was a nice shot by the Huskies right at her, but she was up to the task and got it back in for the point for the Mountain Lions. And looks like that's the end of that game as well, as they meet at the net. So court number 2, court number 3, and I believe now court number 4 have finished. So rough going here for the Lady Huskies as they have lost all 3 of those. So our only match in front of us right now is here on court number 1. So let's stay with Olivia Kaylee and see what Olivia can do here. There is still action down on court number 5, which is that other doubles match for Mifflin County, where the two sophomores are in action. Nice shot by Kaylee. Nice little crossing forehand there. Olivia gets the point. Fortunately, points have been few and far between for Mifflin County here so far today. And the shot by Kaylee is wide. So it looks like we are in the, it's 5-0 here. Kaylee trailing in the second set. She lost the first set, I believe 6-love. Trying to maybe get on the board here in set number 2. And the shot is a little long. Little equipment adjustment there for Isabella Frank, the top player for Altoona, as she gets ready to serve. And that one will go into the net. So a little doubles exhibition going on court number 3 now. Try to check some of that out for you. Kaylee with a nice forehand across. Good cross shot by Kaylee, and she gets the point. So Olivia staying with it here. Again, not sure of the names of everybody on courts 2 and 3 right now, but those are exhibition matches that are taking place there now. Gotcha. I think we're going to get some clarification here as Athletic Director Tish McClay has come down this way. We're going to give Tish some headsets here. And we'll see how things have been going in the athletic office for Ms. McClay. Tish, beautiful courts.
Beautiful day for tennis, nice weather. Couldn't ask for a better day.
It certainly is. And I was talking with Coach Kyle before this match. He knew we were going to have our hands full here, and they certainly have had their hands full. But I was mentioning to everybody here, if they haven't been out to the courts, if you're a casual tennis player or whatever, I think if you come out here to play, you're going to be pretty impressed with what happened.
Definitely a major improvement on the courts. Nice and smooth, school colors, look impressive.
Yeah, they do.
But I know they're nice to play on, and we've gotten a lot of compliments on them.
And they redid, by the way, not only the top 4 courts, but the bottom 2 as well. Kaylee still in action here in the only singles game still to play here, and Kaylee will win the point.
And one thing about our kids, I was talking to Coach Kyle when I went down to...
I mean, it's bouncing back and forth from match to match.
Said for the first match of the season, I think they're pleased with what they're seeing. Altoona's already had some. Of course, us being in the mid-pen had a later start date than some of the...
All these girls from Altoona have played a lot of tennis. I was mentioning some of the...
Pretty big tennis culture there. I know Coach Mazurek is trying to develop interest at younger levels, so younger age, to try to build up the numbers of the program and the competitiveness as well.
Rough fall. It's been
We haven't had to shut down any sports yet, and we're over a week in now, and we're looking forward to what the season has to offer for everybody. And the kids, I think the athletes have adjusted. I think the coaches have adjusted. Certainly the teachers have adjusted in the classroom.
Good shot by Kaylee. Nice job there. Good volley. So Kaylee will get the point. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think things in the classroom have gone very well. And let's let's talk about with fall sports here. First of all, volleyball is the one that's going to be hit the hardest, as nobody's allowed in the gym. You want to explain that and talk about that, and people wondering why they can't see volleyball in person?
Yes. Those decisions aren't made by us. They're made by the governor, and currently the governor's mandates are still in place, and that restricts gyms to 25 total people, which includes the coaches, the players, the officials, the scorebook, all of that. So that all has to be taken into account. So you have to get a little creative when events are inside. You have to come up with ways to keep substitutes out of the gym and be able to get into the gym to substitute and stay in the flow of the game. But we're going to do whatever we can. I know all the schools that, participate are going to do the same to make it a good experience for them. And same for the 250 spectator rule for outside. That's a mandate that we have no control over right now.
And so obviously with volleyball, as we mentioned, we will be streaming that for everybody. So the volleyball games will be on, but there will be no fans there for anything. Our other sports, and let's just not count football in that right now, but everything else, I'm assuming you feel pretty confident that we can socially distance and stay under the 250 and not really have an issue. Is that correct?
We do. We feel confident here at Mifflin County we can stay under that 250 limit for the other sports. I will say when our teams travel to other places, just to name a few, Lower Dauphin, Hershey, they will have staggered spectators, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So, for example, for field hockey, soccer, they may ask the JVs to leave the stadium and the JV fans to leave the stadium and then bring the varsity ones in as well. They have a bigger following.
Right.
Stadiums that they have to be aware of what the numbers are. So I know some of the bigger mid-pen schools that have a bigger following for field hockey, soccer especially, we will be limited. And each facility, each school is probably going to be a bit different based on what their school district's plan is. Just as an example, girls soccer is at Redland today for a scrimmage, and no opposing spectators are permitted there today.
Wow. Okay. And then, of course, there's football, which is the really tough one for some people, simply because that 250 just with players gets difficult.
It gets difficult with players, coaches, and what people don't take into consideration there is you have to have an ambulance there. So you have an ambulance crew. You have to have trainers. You have to have a doctor for the varsity games. The media, the announcers, the game workers, the chain crew, the officials. And once you start to add up all that support personnel, there's not really as much room as some people think there may be. Right now, the visiting team is capped at 75. That includes players and staff, so no visiting team can bring more than 75 people. That leaves us with 175.
Wow.
So by the time you start adding all those numbers in, it's pretty tight.
So in other words, our first home football game is against Bishop McDevitt. They're going to bring they can bring 75 total.
Correct.
Wow, that does make it difficult. Okay. Well, we will be planning on streaming all the football games, of course. We'll have those for you. And I don't know if you can even answer this. I don't really want to put you on the spot, but have they talked yet about, for example, away games, that the other schools will reciprocate a stream that we could be made aware of and stream it? I know we're going to send our information to the other schools so Bishop McDevitt can see it back home.
Yes.
So.
We had a mid-pen meeting last week. We're going to put on the mid-pen website the schools and then the addresses where we can see the events that are being streamed when we go there.
Okay.
So people will have access to see the events even if they cannot be there in person. And I really just want to give a shout out to MCTV and everybody that's worked so hard to live stream these events. I think it's a great opportunity for our athletes and our community to be able to maybe tune into some events that they perhaps wouldn't have been able to see before.
Yeah,
so I
true.
think it's just a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting experience for all of us because streaming is a different animal from what we normally do. So we're learning right along with everybody else. And again, had a few glitches here today, but we'll get it worked out. And certainly we're going to have enough practice here with tennis as we're back here again tomorrow.
Tennis.
What's up with the tennis schedule? Huh?
Tennis and golf have a very compact schedule. Golf played Thursday, Friday, and they're at another match today. So that's 3 matches in a row for golf. Tennis, same thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for tennis. So it is a very tight schedule. The weather is a bit of a factor. They try to get the events in so they can get districts in and postseason play in. And since we did get such a late start, the schedule becomes even more compact.
Right.
So there are a lot of matches for those two sports, early and often for golf and tennis.
So we're speaking, by the way, with Tish McClay, Athletic Director here at Mifflin County High School. You're watching girls tennis, which has pretty much come to an end. These are all exhibitions right now, but we'll keep the cameras running just to give these kids some airtime here. But being in the Mid-Penn, what's your take on how the Mid-Penn's done with all this? I know, they've been just like anybody right now. Anybody that makes a decision gets criticized. But how has it been working with – people forget you're not just working with the athletic directors in a league of 8. You're working with a conference of what, close to 40 schools, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So how's that been? has there been a lot of different opinions being brought in there?
Definitely different opinions.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of in different situations, different locations. I will say I think we've communicated really well in the Mid-Penn. One of the plus factors of that is a lot of Mid-Penn schools are in District 3. And District 3 is a large district, and they are incredibly structured. And so a lot of the direction of what's happened in District 3, in the Mid-Penn, has come from District 3.
Which kind of has us on the outside a little bit, right, with some of that? Or don't you feel that way?
I think it has us on the outside a little bit. Every now and again, we have to remind them that there are 3 schools in District 6 that are in the Mid-Penn, us and State College in Altoona. Of course, we still don't know what State College is going to do. They pushed back their vote to Thursday now, so they've backed it up even a bit further, and we're not sure if they're going to be able to compete or not, or which sports are going to be able to compete. And
they are not in school, correct? They are.
I believe they are still at a remote learning point.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay.
Yes, but the Mid-Penn's been great. I think we communicate well. I had a question today about something, and I called up one of the athletic directors and answered it right away. So everyone's been really helpful, really trying to stay on the same page, help one another out. I think the important thing is keep lines of communication open so our fans know what to expect, their fans know what to expect, as well as the athletes and coaches.
I think we'll finish with that, if you don't mind, one more question. So speaking of what to expect, when people come, we probably had maybe 80 people, maybe 80 or so people here today.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a field hockey game in front of the school, or soccer over at Lewistown, the old Mifflin County Middle School now, Mifflin County Middle School, I'm sorry. What kind of regulations do we have in place? What should people expect when they come to an outdoor event this fall?
People should expect to maintain social distancing. If they cannot maintain social distancing, make sure to wear a mask. Our athletes are required to wear a mask to and from the facilities. When they're being transported, they will have a mask on. Each team that comes to Mifflin County will have to have COVID screening done, and we will collect that documentation as soon as they get here. Also provide their own water, their own balls to warm up. It's kind of sport dependent. I guess there are some variations depending on the sport. And other than that, that's kind of, there's nothing real major other than what you haven't already been experiencing in society in general.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Yes.
That is certainly the truth. Well, I know it's been a long fall, a lot of uncertainty from time to time, and as you said, I think the good thing is we're watching some young girls play some tennis here today. I think we forget in the scheme of things that, they're just teenage kids who want to get out here and play tennis or kick a soccer ball or whatever the case may be. So it's good to see them have the opportunity to do that. And I know I can speak for the faculty here at Mifflin County High School that we are doing everything in our power to keep the kids here as long as we possibly can, and that involves a lot of cleaning, a lot of strategies, going to the remote Fridays here in a couple of weeks where the kids won't be in the building, So it takes the work of quite a few people to make everything happen. So, any other thoughts here about the fall? I know you had some last-minute coaches you had to hire, some late-minute shuffling went on there. We have a new boys basketball coach for the winter, so people might think things were stalled in the sports field, but they certainly weren't in your office.
No, definitely not. And again, you have to be adaptable. Things change every day. I don't have a magic ball I can look into the future. We just do the best we can with the circumstances that we have each day. One thing I do want to mention before we go off the air here, the Husky Club is in dire need of some new members, new leaders. All 4 officers, their terms expired, so we are looking for 4 new officers. The Husky Club does a great job for our student athletes. They support all of our athletes. They take care of the end of the year, all sports awards night, senior blankets, scholarships, really help to recognize all of our athletes, and they're really a critical part of the athletic community here in Mifflin County. So tomorrow we're going to have a Zoom meeting. A Zoom meeting will be at 7:30 p.m. I will post the Zoom link on the athletics website tomorrow morning for anyone that can join, even if you can donate one day a week or one day every 2 weeks or a month. We need all the help that we can get to keep the Husky Club up and running.
Right. I think that's the important part, is it is down to, step up or there is no Husky Club, right? I mean, that's where we're at.
That's exactly where we're at, and we certainly do not want to see such a great club dissolve. I think that would be a detriment to all of our student athletes. I know some teams have certain booster clubs, but this is an all-umbrella booster club that's concerned about all of the athletes in Mifflin County, and they do great things. So if anyone's out there, someone that might maybe have a little time to step up and help us out, we really need it, and we really appreciate anything you could do for us.
Okay. That is Tish McClay, Athletic Director here at Mifflin County High School. And Ryan, we'll wrap things up here for our first broadcast. Again, the matches that you do see going on here, just trying to give you a little bit of bonus coverage. These do not factor into the scoring, but these are kids getting a little valuable practice time. And again, we do apologize for some technical difficulties, but talking just strictly from the sports side, Altoona made a pretty quick afternoon of this.
Yeah, it looks like it. At least all 4 courts.
Yeah, they were done very quickly, and the bottom court, by the way, was also done quickly. That is not still the doubles match going on down there. That is an exhibition, and again, I'm trying to give our listeners a look. We're talking down there on the far court. So everything is officially over here today, and the Huskies, I believe, were defeated in straight sets in all 5 matches, so they do lose their opener, but as they say, tomorrow is another day, and Hollidaysburg will be in town to face Mifflin County tomorrow. Hollidaysburg, like Altoona, of course, they're right next door to each other. Another tennis program in District 6 that's pretty notable. A couple state championships, I believe, up there for some individuals, and they also have had quite a few district champions as well, so our girls will have their hands full there. And Hollidaysburg also a non-league contest. I forgot about that as we were talking about this match. Being in the mid-pen here, we agreed to wait to get started with all of the schools we normally play, but Altoona and Hollidaysburg did not. They're in a different setup, so certainly had an advantage with that here today, as they were out on the court playing quite a bit. So tomorrow, our Lady Huskies will be back out here, match number 2. We'll be back here as well, giving you coverage. And again, a few little minor squatches here and there. We'll try to make up for those to you tomorrow as we're learning our way through this. But we thank you for your patience. And most of all, we're just thankful to have athletes back out on the field. I am very thankful to have students back in the classroom, and young people like Ryan here who decided to step in this afternoon and help us out with this this tennis broadcast. As I said, we will be doing volleyball here. We're going to be doing field hockey. Another real challenge will be cross country. That'll be interesting to try to bring cross country. You don't want a runner's cam there, do you, Ryan?
No.
We could. Are you sure we could?
Yeah.
We could suit you up and put one of those GoPros on your head and just
Run along with them.
yeah, just run right down there and see how that goes. But we will be trying to bring you all of the sports. Golf, of course, is not possible, as the media or fans are not allowed on the golf courses. So we only do have one or two home. Actually, I think it's just one home match at the Lewistown Country Club. But I did get an email the other day saying, hey, why didn't you guys create a channel for golf? And that is why, very simply, we're not allowed on the links for the golf matches. So, again, that's going to be it. We appreciate you being here with us today as we brought you some coverage, very quick as it was, of high school tennis between Mifflin County and Altoona. Straight sets win for the Altoona Mountain Lions. And for Mifflin County, they lose the opener. They go to 0-1 on the season. And as we said, tomorrow, again, it's a 3:30 start time. After this one, they move everything back to 4 o'clock. But these first two are at 3:30. So tomorrow, it'll be another early tennis match here on MCTV. I do want to alert our MCTV stream audience that we may have to make, we've discovered some things. Again, this is all new to us, that we may have to make some changes to where you will be watching the feeds. We had channels all lined up for you for each sport. I know a lot of you already subscribe to those channels, and we appreciate that, but there is a strong possibility that tomorrow we will be having to change some of those links, and it just has to do with some restrictions from YouTube. So we will keep that posted on MCTV online and on MCTV cable to let you know if we have to move those sites. So Ryan, any final words here as we watch the Lady Huskies finish and some of the younger players out on the court?
No, not really, but just a tough day for the Huskies.
Yeah, it certainly was. That you're probably right. That does sum it up. And as Tish McClay was saying, it wasn't for lack of effort. They were competitive in some of the points, but it just seemed that Altoona just a little quicker, a little better technique, and they end up getting the straight sets win here today. So that does it for our first broadcast on MCTV. Girls tennis is in the books. We'll join you tomorrow. Again, we hope to be here with a pre-match show starting at 3:20. I know today we were a little bit late getting ourselves together and out here, but hopefully we have some things figured out now that we can be here earlier tomorrow and bring you the entire match. So for Ryan Esch and the whole crew here at MCTV, I'm Roger Hurto. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow. Well, we were down to 6 people there at the very end, but we did have 6. Yet it did come up. So our biggest audience at any one time was 61. It's not bad
No.
for our first one.
You think they left one that cut
Oh, I'm
off?
sure we lost quite a few there. She thought we were off, and so I thought we were off, so I shut us off. People watching probably thought, what in the world just happened? This is where probably